Welcome. We're going to do some gentle movements. We're going to do some breathing work, and we're going to do some meditation today. So we're going to start with the hips, just exploring what it feels like to rotate the hips as if like in our cat-cow, but just focusing on the hips, tipping them forward, and then tucking the tailbone under and seeing how that feels, and really focusing on that movement forward and back, and then the low spine, that curve, that arch, and then flattening out the low back. And if you want to add in the torso to these cat-cows as your pelvis is tipped forward, looking up into cow pose, and as you tuck the tailbone under slightly, arching the back into cat pose. And then feel free to play around with this, so making it bigger or smaller, or adding in a twist as you come forward. Whatever feels good in your body as we just get into the spine, from the hips up the lumbar spine, the thoracic spine, and all the way into the cervical spine. When we tuck the chin, you can feel the stretch on the upper back and shoulders, perhaps. And as we come into cow pose, thinking about squeezing the shoulder blades closer together, bringing the clavicle forward. And we'll do one more round like this, and then coming up into a nice tall seat, however feels good to you, and we'll shake it out a little bit, roll the shoulders in one direction and the other direction. And then we'll do a little bit of rotating with the head using the breath. So inhaling, looking over one shoulder, exhaling, coming back to center, and then inhaling, looking over the other shoulder, and carrying on with your pace, with your breath. So you might be faster or slower than me, which is fine. We're just thinking about linking the breath to the movement, stretching the neck in a dynamic way. Sometimes we hold the stretches, and that's more of a static stretch. Today we're doing a little more dynamic, moving and doing multiple repetitions of the same movement to get into, to find the flexibility in the joints. And then when you've finished the next round and you're back to the beginning, this time we'll drop one ear to one shoulder on the inhale, and exhale to center, and then dropping the other ear to the other shoulder. And exhaling to center, and just seeing how this feels in your body, being really curious. Are the shoulders relaxed and down, or are they tense and tight? How does your back feel? How does your neck feel? Moving with the breath. And we'll do one more round like this. Take your time, inhaling and exhaling back to center. And then if you'd like to do some gentle neck rolls in one direction and the other direction, feel free to do that. And then shake it out and do whatever other movement might feel good in your body. Maybe it's another arm stretch if that feels good, or you want to roll out your wrists, or you want to stretch the legs out. Whatever would help you feel settled and ready for some stillness, for some breathing. And then find yourself in even more comfortable positions. So that might mean putting something behind your low back if that's what feels good. It might mean putting something underneath your feet if your feet are dangling. It might just mean breathing, relaxing, letting your teeth separate, letting your shoulders drop, and closing the eyes. And if that's not comfortable, you can simply lower the gaze. And we'll just take a moment to let the body settle Again, we're always kind of looking for that gentle, tall spine where we're not slouching, but we're not too erect like a soldier. Nice natural curve in the low back. Let your belly be soft. You can invite the breath down into the belly and just watch the belly rise on the inhale and sink on the exhale. I invite you to take a full breath in and a long breath out. Maybe a few more like those. A full breath in to the chest, to the ribs, to the belly, and a long, slow exhale. And one more like that. And then let the breath return to its natural rhythm, nice and gentle, in and out through the nose where you can. This time, let the breath breathe you. Don't try to change it. And just notice how your body is breathing. Can you feel the breath in and out through your nostrils? Can you feel your chest rise and fall? Can you feel the belly rise and fall? Choose one of those places where you feel the breath the most, the nostrils, the chest, the belly, and focus on that area for the next few breaths. Directing your attention to notice your inhale and how the body responds to the inhale, and the exhale, and how the body feels on the exhale. Carrying on like this, and softening any areas that still might feel tense or tight. And if the mind wanders, as the mind is wont to do, don't worry. You just bring it back to the breath over and over, time and time again. It's no problem. Notice the different aspects of the breath right now, where the inhale turns into the exhale, and where the exhale turns into the inhale. Is your breath warm or cool? Is it deep or shallow today? Notice any pause between the end of one breath and the beginning of the next. Sometimes there is, sometimes there isn't. See how the cadence of your breath is going today. And then we'll set an intention if you like. So if you have something you're working on or something you want to attract more of in your life, now is a great time to send that message out to the universe. And if you're not sure what your intention should be today, I'll invite you to borrow mine. And that's, I'm worthy of putting myself first. And repeat your intention to yourself 3 times. I'm worthy of putting myself first. I'm worthy of putting myself first. As you meditate on what that means for you, areas of your life where maybe you've been passive or haven't advocated or could do something small that would have a really big impact on you, we'll do a counting exercise, reverse counting slowly from 10 to 1. Inhale and exhale. 10. Maybe think of a small thing you could do for yourself for each breath. And inhale and a nice slow exhale for 9. Maybe you simply have the mantra, I am worthy, running on repeat. Inhale and exhale 8. And carrying on like this at your own pace. If you lose count, it doesn't matter. You can start back at 10. If you're breathing quickly and you get to 1, it doesn't matter. You can go back to 10. The point is not to arrive. The point is to stick with the breath and stick with the idea that you are worthy. You're worthy of putting yourself first. You're worthy of doing kind things for yourself. You're worthy of sometimes saying no. If your tongue has gotten stuck to the roof of your mouth, let it relax in the lower jaw. And no matter where you are, finish your next breath and then let go of any counting. Let go of any control of the breath. And once again, take stock. Can you feel the breath in the nostrils? Can you feel it in the chest? Can you feel it in the belly? Can you feel the breath in the back? Can you breathe into your back ribs? Can you make yourself more comfortable? Can you believe that you are worthy of comfort? There are times when we sacrifice unnecessarily. Either what we're doing could be done by someone else, or what we're doing isn't appreciated the way we hoped it was. You're worthy of open communication with the people in your life about your capacity, about your expectations, about what you can and can't do, and also what you will and won't do. Our capacity is not the finite of what we're capable of doing. It's what we're capable of doing without damaging our physical or our mental health. And sometimes it can be tempting to go past the point of physical health or mental health because we think we can drum up some extra energy. But if it is harmful to us because it makes us unwell, or if it is harmful to us because it makes us feel difficult emotions, then that was past our capacity. And so maybe think of a time when you've pushed past your capacity. I know that I'm very guilty of doing this. And imagine you could relive that scenario. What's one small thing you could do to give yourself a rest, to enlist the help of another, to say, this is actually not as urgent as I originally thought. I can do this later. We do not need to earn rest. We do not need to work in order to be worthy of rest. Resting is essential. We are not robots. We are not machines. If you've lost the breath, come back to it. In through the nose and out through the nose. How does your body feel right now? What can you sense around you? Are there any sounds that you can hear? Far away outdoor sounds or interior sounds? Maybe the sound of your own heartbeat or your own breath. Do you have any sensations in your body? Your clothing on your skin, the seat beneath you, any interior sensations? Tummy rumble, heartbeat, any tingles, any discomfort? Where are your feet making contact with the ground? I'll invite us to our final breathing exercise of a box breath. And you can choose what length each side of your box will be. I'll start with 4, inhaling for 4, holding the breath at the top for 4, exhaling for 4, and holding the breath at the bottom for 4. And then repeating. And some people like to count to 4, to 5, to 6 for each side of their box, and that's great. And other people like to be more intuitive and say, this feels like about the same amount of time, and that's fine too. The point is to stick with the breath. To have the retentions at the top and the bottom, but to not feel too panicky with air hunger. If you're gasping for breath, it might be too long. There's no prize for the biggest box. This breathing pattern helps regulate the nervous system, helps bring us away from fight or flight and into rest and digest. Inhaling, holding the breath at the top, exhaling, and holding the breath at the bottom. Do a few more rounds on your own. Finish your next round. There's no rush. And then let the breath return to normal, nice and gentle, in and out through the nose. And check in one more time with your body. How's your head? Can you relax the muscles in your brow and around your eyes? Can you relax the jaw and the neck? Can you relax the shoulders and the chest? The upper arms and the lower arms? Can you relax the palms and the fingers, the thumbs? Can you relax the muscles in your back, the upper back, the mid back, and the low back? Letting yourself sink into your seat, relaxing the hips, the thighs, relaxing the knees, the lower legs, the ankles, and the feet, the heels, the top of the foot, all of the toes. Bringing that intention back to mind, remembering that you are worthy. And then when you're ready, you might bring a little bit of movement to your hands and feet, really gently, maybe rolling the wrists or circling the ankles, maybe tucking the chin to the chest and slowly blinking open your eyes, coming back into the room gently, with ease. Take in the world around you. What's going on? Maybe you sit and rest for another minute before getting up to do whatever is next in your day. Sometimes we rush ourselves, even when no one else is putting pressure on us. So be very kind to yourself. Take rests when you need it. Drink some water. Thanks for practicing with me today.